Hello, I'm Sri from CBTU. CBTU presents a course on Amazon Web Services, section Amazon Redshift. Amazon Redshift is a fast, scalable data warehouse that makes it simple and cost effective to analyze all your data across your data warehouse and data lake. Redshift delivers 10 times faster performance than other data warehouses by using machine learning, massively parallel processing MPP, and columnar storage on high-performance disk. You can set up and deploy a new data warehouse in minutes, run queries across petabytes of data in your Redshift warehouse, and exabytes of data in your data lake built on Amazon S3. These are the benefits: faster performance, easy to set up, deploy, and manage, cost effective, scale quickly to meet your needs, query your data lake, extend your data warehouse to your data lake to explore unique insights. And all this comes with compliance and security. Use cases are accelerate all your analytic workloads, unified data warehouse and data lake, modernize your on-premises data warehouse. Let us see features. Faster performance. As Redshift uses massively parallel processing MPP data warehouse architecture, Amazon Redshift uses machine learning to deliver high throughput based on your workloads. Easy to set up, deploy and manage, automated provisioning, automated backups, and fault tolerant. Redshift is well integrated with industry-leading third-party tools and experts for loading, transforming, and visualizing data. Cost-effective. No upfront costs, but pay as you go. You choose the instance type for the nodes for economics. It scales quickly to meet your needs. Amazon Redshift is the only data warehouse that extends your queries to your Amazon S3 data lake without loading data. And Redshift is well integrated with AWS Analytics ecosystem. AWS Glue can ETL data into Redshift. Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose can capture, transform, and load streaming data into Redshift for real-time analytics. Use Amazon QuickSight to create reports, visualizations, and dashboards. Redshift is secure with end-to-end encryption, network isolation with Amazon VPC, and Redshift integrates with AWS CloudTrail to enable you audit trail to audit all Redshift API calls. Redshift pricing. Amazon Redshift pricing options include on-demand pricing with no upfront costs, but simply pay as you go at hourly rate based on the type and the number of nodes in your cluster. Amazon Redshift Spectrum pricing enables you to run SQL queries directly against all of your data out to exabytes. In Amazon S3, you simply pay for the number of bytes scanned. With reserved instance pricing, you save up to 75% over on-demand pricing. You choose the option which best suits your business needs. Let us deploy data warehouse. Let us create and configure an Amazon Redshift data warehouse, configure cluster, secure cluster, load sample data, and analyze it using SQL client. Data warehouse is a system used for reporting and data analysis and is the core component of business intelligence. Data warehouses are central repositories of integrated data from one or multiple sources. The typical ETL extract, transform, load based data warehouse uses staging, data integration, and access layers to house the key functions. The main source of data is cleansed, transformed, cataloged, and made available for use by professionals for data mining and online analytical processing, market research, and decision support. Amazon Redshift allows you to deploy a scalable data warehouse in minutes, and start to analyze your data using existing business intelligence tools, BI tools. It is fully managed and cost-effective data warehousing system. In this session, we'll create an Amazon Redshift cluster, configure the cluster by choosing the instance type and specifying the number of nodes, secure your cluster using AWS IAM and security groups. Prerequisites for this session. You need to have an AWS account. If you don't have, create one. Follow this link. We need SQL client. In this session, we are using SQL Workbench J. Let us copy this. Please note that Workbench J has no relation to the product MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench is owned and maintained by Oracle. SQL Workbench J is free DBMS independent cross-platform SQL query tool. It's written in Java. It runs on any operating system that has JRE. Let us go to the downloads. Click download generic package for all systems. Is done. Click on SQL Workbench 64 application. This is SQL Workbench J. We'll be downloading Jdbc drivers to connect to our Amazon Redshift cluster. The next step is configure Amazon Redshift Jdbc driver. We need Amazon Redshift Jdbc driver to enable SQL Workbench to connect to your cluster. Let us download. Next step is we need Jdbc URL of the Redshift cluster to connect from the SQL client tool. We'll come back to this after launching Amazon Redshift cluster in step 3. Configure security group and firewall rules to open 5439 port which Redshift uses by default. We'll configure this in step 3. Step 2. Create an IAM role. We need to use AWS CLI for loading the data from Amazon S3. Our cluster needs permission to access S3 resources on your behalf. We'll create a new IAM role that enables Amazon Redshift to load data from Amazon S3 buckets. Let us open IAM. This is AWS Management Console. IAM is under Security. Select roles. Create role. Choose the service that will use this service. Select Redshift. We have two use cases. Select Redshift Customizable, which allows Redshift clusters to call AWS services on your behalf. Next, let us attach a permission policies for this. Search S3. Select Amazon S3 read-only access. Next, give a role name. Redshift role. Description is fine. Trusted entities is Redshift. Policy S3 read-only access. Create role. Let us search. You copy this role ARN, Amazon resource name. This is required when copying load sample data from Amazon S3 in step 6. Copy. Now you have created a new role and next step is to attach it to your cluster. You can attach the role when you launch a new cluster or to an existing cluster. Step 3. Launch Amazon Redshift cluster. Let us log into the AWS Management Console. Let us select the region US West, Oregon. This is AWS Management Console. Let us select Redshift. This is Amazon Redshift console. We're in US West Oregon zone. In few clicks, we can launch Redshift cluster and get started analyzing your data. Let us select Quick Launch Cluster. We can go with advanced settings as well. We need to provide all the information here. And in the Quick Launch, we have some information pre-populated. The Redshift pricing. Amazon Redshift pricing options include on-demand pricing with no upfront costs. You simply pay an hourly rate based on the type and number of nodes in your cluster. And next one is spectrum pricing and the reserved instance pricing. Let us go with the suggested node type DC2.large. Number of compute nodes 2, minimum 2. One is the leader node and the one is compute node. If you select one node, this will be leader node and compute node as well. Cluster name Redshift cluster 1. Master username AWS user. Password default database port for Redshift 5439 and available IAM roles. Select CB Redshift role. Okay, launch cluster. Cluster is being created. It may take few minutes to launch. We can set IAM permissions for the query editor. We can launch query editor and create tables, load data into a cluster. Let us view cluster. Cluster status is creating. It will be changed to available whenever it's ready. Cluster status must be available and DB health must be healthy before we can connect to the database. Config timeline will record all the configuration changes. AWS config automatically discovers AWS resources and starts recording configuration changes. We can customize the rules for compliance continuously. Cluster creation is in progress. We launched Amazon Redshift cluster and the next step is authorize access to the cluster. Now the cluster is available and healthy for us to connect. Let us configure the VPC security group. We are in the configuration tab of the cluster. Select these VPC security groups. This opens Amazon EC2 Management Console where you can configure the security groups. Security group, inbound rules. For the port 5439, the type is Redshift TCP protocol and source custom source is 0000/0. It's open to the world. It's not recommended for the production as it allows access from any computer on the internet. We need to create inbound rules based on the business requirements. Let us save this. Let us go back to Redshift console, cluster. We have authorized access to our cluster. We have downloaded SQL Workbench J that we'll be using to connect to this cluster. Step 5. Let us connect to the sample cluster. We need the connection string Jdbc URL to connect to the cluster from the SQL Workbench J. Let us go to the cluster. We are in configuration tab. Cluster database properties. This is the Jdbc URL. Copy this. Let us open SQL Workbench application. Let us create a new profile. Profile 1. Let us click on Manage Drivers. Let us select Amazon Redshift. Let us open. Select this. This we have downloaded previously. This is the class name for the JDBC driver. Click OK. Let us give the username, password. Let us check auto commit. Let us save this profile. Step 6. Load sample data from Amazon S3. We'll be using the scripts from Amazon Redshift Database Developer Guide. Create tables. This is the script. We'll be creating these tables. This is copying data from Amazon S3 into our tables and running the queries against the data. Let us create the tables. Let us copy this, paste. All the tables are created. Next step is copying data from Amazon S3. Copying is in progress. Yeah, it copied 49,990 records. Let us run these copy commands as well. Copying is in progress. Yeah, data is copied in all the tables. We have loaded sample data from S3 into our cluster. Next, let us run queries on the data. Get definition from the sales table. Copy this. This is the result. Total sales on given calendar date. Run this query. The result is 210. Let us find top 10 buyers by the quantity. Let us run this query. Select first name, last name, total quantity. Let us run this query. These are the results. Find events in the 99.9 percentile in terms of all-time gross sales. Let us run this query. This is the event name and this is a total price. These are the queries that we have run on our data. Let us run all queries together. Yes, all queries were run. The results were in different tabs for each query. Status. This is the log events. Performance. These are the metrics. Database performance. Workload execution breakdown. Query throughput. Queries. When a query is running, if it's taking longer time, you can terminate a query from here. These are the SQL query loads, the script. Let us launch Query Editor. You can write, run, and save queries directly from the console. Let us authorize this query editor. Database. Database name is dev. Let us launch Query Editor. Database name is dev. Connect. So we connected to our database through Query Editor. Let us run a query. These are the results. You can download the results in CSV format. We can run all the queries through this online query editor. You can save the queries. Query 1, provide some description. Query is saved. Saved queries. Snapshots. On this snapshot, we can perform these actions: security, security groups, HSM connection, hardware security module connection. You can specify the details and create certificates, parameter groups, workload management. Workload management is an ordered set of queries that define how resources are allocated and how queries are routed for processing. You can add query monitoring rules to your WLM queries. Here is some offer. We can upgrade from DC1 to DC2 nodes for free under current term. Advisor. Amazon Redshift advisors customized recommendations help improve cluster performance and decrease costs. Log events. These events are helpful in troubleshooting. We can subscribe to the events and get the events logged. Connecting to our Amazon Redshift cluster using Redshift Jdbc or ODBC driver. Install client tool. Amazon Redshift is designed to work with your BI tool of choice. You can try tools from Amazon Redshift partners or use SQL Workbench/J, which we have used. This one, which we have used. You can download Amazon Redshift drivers from here. This is Jdbc driver. This is ODBC driver. This is Jdbc connection URL. This is the configuration information. This is news and information about the Redshift improvements. This is all about Amazon Redshift cluster. Here's the final step. Let us do the cleanup. Let us go to the cluster, select, delete cluster, create snapshot, no. This is warning us. All these snapshots will be deleted and all the changes and the data will be lost. It's okay. Let us acknowledge. Click delete. The deletion is in progress and it will take a couple of minutes. We have successfully deployed data warehouse. These are some of the screenshots. Amazon Redshift console, quick launch Amazon Redshift cluster. Cluster is being created. Cluster under creation. Cluster properties. Connection profile with SQL Workbench J. Cluster. SQL Workbench J connection. Running queries. SQL Workbench. Deleting cluster. That's all about Amazon Redshift. Thanks for watching.